Thanks for joining us. In the background on the chat function, we have our sales reps, district sales managers. So if at any time you have any questions during the presentation, please feel free to use that chat function, ask the questions, they'll get on your answers and then relay them back to me as well. So first of all, I just kind of like to start this up and turn this machine on. So turn the switch on. Today we're going to be showcasing potatoes on here. As you can see, the potatoes are going to be fully enclosed in the polyolefin film. What this does now, on one of the marks that we've seen, is that in produce, we have a little more, especially with a COVID situation going on, is that we want to fully protect the produce that we have. So this is a really good example of being able to be COVID conscious, protect your produce, wrap it enclosed in film, and shrink it on there. As you can see, as it's going through here, the potatoes are going to transfer onto the tunnel. In the tunnel, we have forward directional airflow to really shrink that out and get a good looking package. We'll talk a little bit more about the tunnel here as we progress on, but you can kind of see how nice that package looks, how clean it is, what that does as far as the seal quality, the look and feel of those potatoes. Let me stop this machine here and kind of going to go through some of the features and benefits of our automatic L-bar. First, we'll start out with the value series 1721 name. That 1721 name is coming from the size of the seal bar itself. So that's 17 inches in this direction and 21 inches in the front direction. The height is about 5 inches tall. So typically on the application side of things, it's not going to say you can fit a 17 by 21 package in here, but within those ranges, we'll get something to work. Another little note on this machine, we have this in our demo room. So if you particularly have a project that you're looking at, we always have this machine on our hand to either go through with you if you want to come in or send samples to. So again, it's a really flexible piece as far as different products that we have. Potatoes that we saw, I'll kind of do a change, see how quick the changeover is going on, what that takes. So first, let's get started with the film. So, I'd like to thank Clysar for supplying us the film today. As you can see, it's on our nice film rack up here. Again, it kind of compacts that design. It's up here. After the film is on, you can see a couple set of rollers in here. What these rollers are going to do, you can see the little red rollers there. That is the pin perf wheels. Those pin perf wheels are essential for the evacuation of the air. Those are fully adjustable within that shaft. Next, we're going to come around this rubber drive roller. That's really going to pay out that film. So the machine itself is going to unwind the roll of film for you. Everything will be timed. There's a dancer bar system back here to let that rubber drive roller know when to turn on and off. On the back side, you'll see down the film come through here. We have an anti-static bar here. So with running of the film, sometimes static gets built up. So definitely want to get rid of that static. We'll split the film into two now. This is center folded polyolefin film. After we split it in two, you can see the tension on here is nice and taut. We'll come across our inverting triangle bars. There is one on the top here and then one underneath this conveyor section. You can't see. This is going to invert the film to allow the product to come through and in and open up. There are some manual adjustments with this as well. There is the hand crank here to raise and lower that upper triangle for the different product heights. There's a hand crank underneath on the conveyor here to adjust for the different width products. I'll kind of walk you through that when we do a product changeover. Going over to the sensor side, we have two sets of sensors. One is a horizontal sensor down here. What this is going to do is sensor product as it's coming into the seal area. If for some reason you need to switch to the vertical sensor, we have a vertical sensor up here. Both these come with the machine standard. You can switch between these two sensors on the HMI, which we'll get into as well. Now you ask, why would you need to switch between a horizontal and a vertical sensor? Well, if I show you an example here, we have a roll of tape. On this roll of tape, if you're using the vertical sensor and looking down, you're going to see through that and give the machine a full signal. So we switch to the horizontal sensor to sense it here. Coming through the seal bar area here, I'll open this up. And as you can see, everything is interlocked for safety. A nice little safety light comes on, making sure that nothing is operational as we open these doors. Coming in the seal bar area, we have our 1721 hot knife mushroom insert in here. It's been a winner for us over the years. It's one of the most unique and widely available cutting inserts to shrink a multitude of films, from this polyolefin to some polyethylenes, PVCs. What that's going to do is really give you that flexibility for your different film manufacturers, different gauges, to really cut and seal that film. With the mushroom insert, I'll just show you a little cutout here. This is a standard that we use. So you can see here that profile. It's got a nice round profile to make the seal on both sides. The middle section here will cut that film. We also offer a pancake insert. This pancake insert is a little bit wider, so that profile of that seal is going to be a little bit wider, where maybe some of the polyethylenes or something where you need a little more wide seal. Again, there's a cutting rule inside here. And one of the other profiles we have is this arrow insert. Now the arrow insert, as you can see from the profile, is a little bit thinner, so it's going to give you a little thinner seal. So again, the mushroom insert is really flexible as far as the different films and seals that you have. We have options for you. And that's one of the things about us is the options that we can get. Going back to the seal bar area here, I don't know if you can see it here, but there is a roller, the front little idle roller there. Now what that is the closing conveyor. Right now it's in the open position. It's an easy touch of the button to make that open and close with the product. For some small products, that thing will come out, close that gap between that transfer, make sure that product transfers across from the infeed to the exit conveyor. So I'll close this back up. I will hit my safety device to make sure that everything's locked away. The film will transverse through our chain, scrap chain takeaway, and come right around here. So again, we're gonna have some excess scrap film here because we need that to kind of travel through and then collect it on the bottom end. So as you can kind of see on the bottom, you see the film take-up wheel for our scrap. Now that's nice because it's all tucked away underneath the machine, out of the operator's feet. Easy adjustable or take away with this little hand knob here. Take this off, pull it out, tie it back on, you're good to go. So with the potatoes, I'll show you again just kind of the different features you talked about on this machine here. We'll run some of these potatoes through. Again, you'll see now all the different features and what it's doing in here. It's gonna come, it's gonna sense it, it's gonna close. You can see that closing conveyor, close and open. Don't necessarily need it for this product, but it's definitely something to show. With the closing conveyor, this machine is feature rich. So that's some of the features with the automatic L-bar. Since we're about on the back end here in the tunnel, I'll kind of go over some of the tunnel features and benefits. This is our Eastey tunnel, 161036 is the name. We say 16 inches wide by 10 inches tall, 48 inches long, so that's really the chamber. You know, with the chamber and the shrink, there's 3 different variables for shrinking, and you need to be able to change and maneuver with the different films to get that nice shrink. So for the different adjustability features on here, we have the blower speed. This is going to adjust the airflow within there. Now the airflow within that hood, I don't know if you can see in here, you're going to see that we have 4 directional airflow. Oh, not quite, it's all right. What that 4 directional airflow is going to do is really give you that evenness of shrink as you go through. The other thing we have is the conveyor speed. Again, that's going to see how long your product is in that tunnel to make sure that that shrink comes out perfect. And the last thing, we have a temperature controller here. That's going to set your temperature for the different kinds of films that you have. Other nice thing about these tunnels is that this whole panel right here with 2 bolts, you can unscrew the bolts, flip this down, and your electrical components are going to be right there to get at right when you need them. If for some reason you need to go on the top, the whole top lid comes off. These tunnels are built in our Eastey facility. As you can see here, it's not hot at all. So the insulation, the tunnel, the hood, it's all welded one frame, which really provides that quality with our manufacturing. So I'd like to take you through a changeover here from the potatoes to a first aid kit. So I'm going to stop this machine here. I'll come up to our HMI. Now, we haven't looked at this at all. We have these Siemens controls, one of the world leaders within the PLC HMI. As you can see, there's a product name in there. Why is that there? That's because we have recipes in here. If we want to change this recipe, all we have to do is hit selection. We can select the first aid. It's going to pop it up. And what that's going to do is change the setting machine settings on here. So as you can see, these are selectable settings that you can have. The machine's going to automatically adjust those for you. Same with the timer values in here. There's also a little notepad section on here that'll tell you and your operators where to put those manual adjustments at. So we'll go back here. Now the first aid is on there. I'll do a little adjustment on the in-feed conveyor here. Again, there's a hand crank underneath here for adjusting the width. As you can see, this product tray in-feed whole assembly is moving on back. Second product I'm going to do for product changeover is a family first aid kit. So if you're sitting peeling potatoes and you cut yourself, well, now you got a kit. So we'll adjust this out for the width. We have the recipe pulled up there. And the first time when we adjust this, I want to make one bag because again, the bag is setting where it's at. So on our HMI, I'm going to go through and just feed some film here. What that's going to do is allow that film to go through and make a bag. So after we get here, we're going to open this up. Put that back in. Again, we could feed the film through here, as you can see, with the 2 buttons on the HMI. Now I can manually cycle this and seal it. What that's going to do is manually seal. So again, when first feeding the film, I can feed this through manually. I can make that seal. And again, you can just thread that through. The scrap film will come in the back and around. We'll shut this here, and then we're off and running. So what I'm going to do is turn the working sensor on, turn this bag on, down here. Make one more seal, take this bag out, and turn this on. So what I've done is adjust over, put the product in here. It's going to sense the product, go in, and transfers through. Now the tunnel settings are all the same. So we have the product coming out the back end. For you that just joined, we are going to roll over here to the AFM side and look at our LX100. So please be patient while we finish this one up, and then we'll roll over to Pedro. As you can see from the product changeover, that was a couple minutes. You have a good looking package on your first aid kit here. Kind of talked about some of the general features and benefits of this machine and set. Typically we stock these things, whether it be the sealer, this particular sealer, or the tunnel in stock. Again, we mentioned the 17 by 21. We also make large format L-bar sealers, automatic. We make them up to 50 inches wide this way by 100 inches long. What that's going to do is really give you different automation options for, we'll say, doors and windows and markets of that area. Where you obviously depending on the package size. So again, that throughput, the automation portion of it, you can set this, you can forget it, and you can go. Voltages for here is 220 volts. We do have options for 480 volts as well. Product heights, again, we can get up to that 5 to 6 inch range. Again, if you have products, you want to see them, we can do some live demos for you. You can come in, as long as you sign our COVID waiver, of course. But we just really wanted to showcase this. So again, if you have questions, please reach out to us, chat. If there's any questions that you haven't got answered, please email us, our district managers. We'll be there for you to answer any of the questions, walk you through the sales process. But thanks again for joining us.